Hi again friends. In this particular video I'll be sharing with you few very basic tips and tricks and methodology of editing, video editing, and this video is targeted at people who are beginners, very new at creating videos, and who love to create videos for the web, picture slideshows and simple short films. In one of the past videos we had discussed about shooting video content using mobile phones, handycams, etc. And further to that, you'll need to put all those recordings into your computer system and edit that. So this video discusses about that. And yes, as I mentioned previously, filmmaking, making videos, audio visuals, etc. is an art. So there are no fixed rules and regulations to that. And but yes, experiences of our own and of our friends and mentors, it helps us to make a safe video, but do not hesitate in experimenting with any of these steps and going beyond what I tell you, what I discuss here. Experiment on your own and learn from your experiences, and who knows, maybe since we all are unique and we have our own perspectives of visions of looking at things and our own ideas, so maybe you come up with something exciting. Till then, while you're learning how to learning the trade, how to go about things, maybe these experiences help you in making your first few videos, first few picture slideshows and short films perhaps. So I'll be discussing with you the very basics of what all is included in editing, how you get the video into your computer, and then what do you do with that, and why do you do edits. And first of all, let me draw an analogy for you. Just like an artist, a painter has a canvas to draw on. He beautifies the canvas up using his colors and brushes and pencils. Similarly, a filmmaker has a duration of time to fill up. The time is his canvas, which he fills up using elements that are visible and audible. This duration of time is filled up with things that we can hear, things that we can see, set in a streamlined manner. So this is a film. This is what this is where the creativity of a filmmaker comes out, the duration of time. Now there are so many people involved in creating things that are seen, the content actually, the story, the actors, the people taking care of lights, and the people taking care of the art and the set, design of the set. So there are so many people who put together the content. Then the camera person takes care of shooting all this and capturing all this on camera. So one of the visual contents elements is all this, what has been shot. Then there are graphics, animations, text that can be seen, and then there is a whole new world of sound, the sounds that you hear and the music. So these are primarily the audible elements, and the editor puts all these together in reference to a storyline, and he puts all this together with a flow, with a streamlined flow as per the requirements of the story, and that's how a film is made. Now let's discuss the basics of what is editing actually. When we shoot a sequence, we take several shots, like in various pieces the sequence is captured on camera. So like, why do we need to first why do we need to take these various shots? Whenever there is a need to, suppose you're shooting something and that action is over, and now you need to reframe this, and now you need to change the composition to take a close of the face of that person, or suppose you need to move to another location, or you need to change the camera angle, the direction. In such cases, whenever there is a need to change the point of view, or when you need to change the magnification, or you need to change the angle and things like this, in such a case we cut the shot and we move to another. We change the camera angle, we change the framing, and then start start rolling for the other shot. So this is how and why we take shots. We don't whenever the current shot is no more adequate to convey the story and we need to reframe, we cut it. This current shot gets over and we reframe our frame at a new location or at a zoomed in view and at a different angle, and then we take another shot. So this is how individual shots are formed. In a movie, there is a flow of shots. One shot leads to another, or you can say that one shot is preceded by another and followed by another, and this stream of shots put together meaningfully to convey a story. And also this is a movie, and also we take care of how one shot is transitioning to another, and when these shots are put into a rhythm of the flow, this conveys a meaning. If I try to explain to you in simple terms that how this flow, a rhythm of flow is designed, we choose the shots that we need in our movie, right? The choice of the shots. Then we choose the duration of each shot, for how long this shot is going to stay, and also the sequence of the shots, like which shot will come before and which will follow this current shot, and the sequence, the order of the shot, the choice of the shot, and the duration. So these three things put together set a flow of a movie, and it is in the editing stage that we set this flow. This also sometimes involves manipulating with time duration. That is, you sometimes have to compress a time duration or stretch a time duration. The examples would be, if I illustrate, for example, we have a chasing sequence in our film. Somebody is running, the police is running behind a burglar, and the chase actually goes on for 20 minutes. But in the film, we need not show the full 20 minutes of chase, and what we can do is we can just show the major locations where this chase is happening, and moving from one spot to another important spot, and we can show just the key events that happen, like if the burglar falls down during the chase, or he holds somebody hostage, and things like these key events that are happening. We just show this, and the sequence can last for 2 or 2.5 minutes, suppose, in our film, and we establish that 20 minutes have passed. So in this case, you have compressed. You are not showing the non-essential parts of the chase sequence, and just showing the key elements. We have established that, okay, the chase sequence is now over, 20 minutes passed, and within a span of 2 or 2.5 minutes, we showed a 20 minutes duration event. Another example of stretching could be in dramatic sequences or sequences of suspense. Suppose we have to show that at this particular moment, like somebody is hiding behind the curtain and looking outside, and somebody is picking up a gun, suppose, and somebody is unaware of what is happening. So all these three events are happening at this very moment itself. So what you could typically do is show these three separately, and have a slow motion on the gun part, or somebody is hiding and you add a slow motion. So what we are doing here is we are establishing the same 1 or 2 seconds, the crucial 1 or 2 seconds of that story in 1 minute long sequence. We are stretching that very moment and showing the details separately. The time duration that passed is essentially 2 seconds only. Somebody just picked up the gun and shot and fired, but you can show this in slow motion. You can show the reactions of the people at that very moment. So the same 2 seconds are shown stretched in 1 minute. So this is what is called as manipulating with time. So this also happens in the editing stage, and this also contributes to the flow, the rhythm of the story. So as we discussed, in editing you choose the shots, you decide the duration of the shots, you decide the order of the shots, and then you manipulate with time if need be, and then all these elements are set into a streamlined flow to convey the rhythm, to fall into a rhythm, a flow of the story. Often the term editing covers a broad variety of activities that are also referred to as post-processing or post-production. So now, when does editing happen? When should you keep this in mind, and when should you be aware about the editing knowledge and experience? Of course, ideally, editing happens obviously after you have shot, after you have created the audio-visual elements that are to be put together. However, it helps big time. It helps a lot if you know about your editing technology, the editing style, the editing methods that you're going to use for your film. If you know this at the shooting stage itself, it helps a lot, because you're going to shoot accordingly and make the decisions accordingly, and thus everything will fall in sync with at the editing table. Before we discuss the hands-on, before I illustrate a few editing basics, I can share with you a few suggestions from my own experiences that helped me. The first one would be watch a lot of movies and keep an eye on the point of views used in a shot, and the angle of the shot, and the duration, and the sequence of the shots that were chosen, and any special effects if you saw them. Something is black and white and something is sepia, or something a cloudy, dreamy kind of a scene within another scene. So things like this, keep an eye on this and try and imagine how this added value to the story, how this helped in conveying one particular story, conveying a particular message. Another suggestion would be it would help you big time if you while shooting some action, it helps if you shoot the complete action, even if suppose you just have to show a fraction of it in your movie. If you decide to, there is an action happening for 10 seconds and in your movie you have to show just the 4 seconds, a bat hitting a ball. So it helps if you, like for example, a golfer is taking a swing and hitting a ball like this, and you just need the final few moments of the final 10% of the swing, and then the club hits the ball. So it helps if you shoot the complete swing, and in the editing you can trim it off. Also, it would help if you capture this from various angles. If it is a fiction, you can ask the actor to repeat the action 3 or 4 times, and you shoot it with different angles and different magnifications. You could take a shot from a zoomed out view, taking the same golf example again. If you could take one action with the full body of the golfer and the swing, and it hits, take this action completely, then zoom in a bit, and then take that action, and then zoom in very tight just near to the ball, and the club hitting. The full frame of the camera shows just the ball and the tip and the hit action of the club. So do this action, capture this action multiple times, 3 or 4 times at various framings and various angles. And similarly for other sequences, the interview sequences, or somebody is delivering a dialogue, you could shoot from multiple angles, the full action. And then in the editing stage, it helps that if you can put pieces of all these together to convey the same event with more details. Like in the film, you just see the golfer hitting the ball once, but you could convey all this from various angles and showing bits and pieces of these various shots. So it helps if you take the complete action, and also if possible you can take it from multiple magnifications, multiple angles. Another thing that you should take care of while shooting itself is continuity. The continuity of light, continuity of props, right? Continuity of sound. As an example, between various shots, to maintain the continuity, like in this shot itself, you're seeing the mouse here, right? This is the mouse kept here. In another shot of the same, after some time I shoot again this sequence itself, and I forget this keyboard and the mouse kept here. So this So this makes the props discontinuous. In the in the previous moment there was some stuff kept here. In the next shot itself, you don't have this these things available, these props available in this frame. So this becomes very noticeable, and it's a visual jump. Like it doesn't seem look seamless in your movie. So this and in the editing stage, it would become difficult for the editor to weave these two shots together. Similarly, if in a sequence the light becomes discontinuous, right? You're shooting something outdoors, and suddenly you have clouds coming in. So in one shot you had proper light, and in the very next moment it was dark. So it would become a visual jump. In the editing stage, when these two shots would be merged, the lighting would be different. So this won't look like the same action happening. It would be a very noticeable visual jump. As an example of the continuity of sound, could be like if two people are talking, it's night time, two people are talking on the streets, and you have celebrations and fireworks going on very near to them. And in the first shot, you've taken a zoomed out view of both the people. You see both the people in the frame and talking to each other. And in the second shot, you decided to take a closer look on one of the persons, and you've reframed the shot, and you are now very close to his face, and you've captured all the dialogue very properly. But what happened was that in the first shot you had fireworks going on, and later you forgot to add fireworks, the sound of fireworks in the shot closer. In the closer shot, you didn't have the ambient sounds of the fireworks. So suddenly at the editing stage, when these two sequences would be put together, these two shots would be put together, it would be jerky. Like it won't sound to be the same moment that you shot. The sounds would be very different, so it won't look seamless and continuous. So try and maintain, for the sake of the easiness at the editing table, while you're shooting and while you're planning your shot, be mindful of the continuity of light, continuity of props, continuity of sound, continuity of costume. Right? If you've taken, if suddenly in the next shot this color goes dull, right? Or in one shot the shirt is probably ironed, and in the next one it is not. And so this would be a visual jump. So continuity of props, costumes, lights, sounds. So take care of all this. Another thing to keep in mind is that the editors try to make, when you're transitioning from one shot to another, often there is a desire to make this transition very unnoticeable. Seamlessly one shot moves into another, and this is a desired thing, that the viewer doesn't get to know the jump. Sometimes a jump is also a desired thing, that there is an abrupt change in the shot and the viewer gets a shock. For example, you're shooting on a highway, and there are buses and trucks passing by. So after you have shot the sequence, there is a truck that passes by. So this moment of the truck passing by through this frame could be, you can be mindful of, if you are aware of the editing table also, what happens on the editing table while shooting. You could also decide that, okay, this is the moment where I'm going to change my shot. When the truck is passing by, automatically you see, the viewer will see a blockage of these, something blocking the screen, the truck blocking the screen. And when the truck passes by, you could, at this moment, you could change the shot to another location or another framing. So things like this might help you. Or in a war sequence, you have a sequence of bombs dropping from an aircraft, and then there is a blast. So with this blast, you have fire all around, and when all this settles, or this shot of fire all around could be a moment of transitioning to another shot. So things like this, if you are aware of, if you're mindful of what goes on the editing table, you can accordingly modify or design your shoots. Another way to camouflage these transitions is, for example, when somebody in your frame, in your story, gestures towards a direction and shows in one particular direction, points to someone or something, This could be a moment of cutting, and then the next shot could be to reveal what was being pointed at, what this person was, or to whom this person was pointing to. Like if he makes a gesture this way, you could cut here and then change the shot to show what he was pointing at. Another way that often helps in camouflaging the transition is, for example, you are interviewing a riot victim who is telling you, who is narrating a story about some riots happening and how there were blasts and gunshots all around, and you know that your next shot after this interview is going to be few minutes of some footage of that riot happening, the blast and the gunshots and the fire all around. So you know that after this interview you're going to show 1 minute of that footage, the footage of that riots. So this transition, it might help you. In many cases it does. If there is one trick that people do is, while this interview is about to end, in the last 5 seconds you start hearing dim sounds of the riot footage, right? The gunshots, the blast, and while the interview is about to end, the last 4 or 5 seconds or whatever duration you decide, you start hearing the sounds of the next shot that is arriving. And when this transitions to the shot of the riots, you again show the riots happening, and the sounds become louder and prominent. But including this few dim sounds of these next shot in the previous shot helps the human mind and the brain to accept this transition easily. It becomes little more glued. These two shots become glued through sound. It becomes seamless. A few popular effects transitions that these softwares offer are fades. Like you have one shot, one scene that fades. When it ends, it fades out to black or fades out to a white screen, and then the second the other subsequent shot fades in. Then you have dissolves, in which one shot dissolves into another one, while the first shot is going out, the second starts coming in. So these two dissolves into each other. Then you have blurs, and you have ripple effects, in which one shot ends into a ripple movement and the other one appears after that. So all these can be creatively used depending upon, for example, often to showcase dream sequences. Somebody is dreaming, you use the ripple transition to from the real life situation to the dream situation. When you transition, you have a ripple coming in between. Or you could also have an inset in which I'm looking here and thinking about something, and there is another screen that appears here and shows something from my memories and from my dreams. So this is called an inset, a scene within a scene. Another popular effect that is used is a split screen. Suppose 3 people are teleconferencing and talking on the phone with each other. So you could have the screen split into 3 portions, 1, 2 and 3, and you have 3 people. You see all the 3 people simultaneously talking to each other. Another popular style of transitioning is wipes. When one shot you see the screen wiping out and the other one appears, like as this shot wipes away, the second shot comes in, wipes into this moment. And then these softwares also offer you effects like adding a sepia or a black and white, or some functionalities to color correct or to change the color tones of a scene, or an ability to add vignettes on your shot, or raise the color temperature, add heat, or give you a night vision look. So these are popular effects that these software give you, visual effects. And often there also are audible audio effects like equalizers, EQ, to enable you to cut the highs and lows and mids, control the frequencies, or there are reverbs, echoes, that cathedral echoes, or a big hall echo and reverb, and noise filters and EQ, as I said. So these are popular audio effects that are available in various software. Often simpler applications like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, they offer you a limited set of functionalities. These transitions effects that I mentioned, they offer a limited set of presets and a limited set of controls for controlling these presets. And the pro level applications like Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro from Apple, these allow you more controls on your the editing elements and the transitions and effects and the shots, etc. I can share with you some workarounds. For example, if your application allows you to add only one layer of text at one time, and you need two layers of text, one for the subtitle and one you want to write some logo or your website on your the top of your screen, and on the bottom you need subtitles. So and your software allows you only one layer of text on your shot. So what you could do is add the subtitles first and export this as a separate video. So now you get a video file which shows your content and has the subtitles also. Now again import this in your editing software and add this layer of logo or your website text. So all this will make obviously more sense when I illustrate to you the hands-on part. Some more workarounds could be, you could make a note of this, that often these simpler software applications allow you only one audio track, one or two audio tracks, but in reality you want multiple sounds to be heard in your movie altogether. Like you're hearing the action, you're hearing the dialogue, then you're hearing the ambient sounds, and then you're also hearing the music. So out here you at least require at least three audio tracks in this very simple example. So and your software doesn't allow you to do that. So one way could be, just as I explained for the text, that you could export one file out and then import it again, then add the second sound. Another way could be, you could use separate tools software to edit your sound. For example, there is an open source software called Audacity, AUDACITY. So note that and explore that further, how to use that. It is free and it allows you to mix n number of audio tracks, and then this clubbed audio track could become an input for your video editing software, and you could import that and merge the visuals and the sounds together. You'll see some terms appearing on the screen here: aspect ratio and progressive, interleaved, and resolution, and more things like this that might help you if you explore them further and study them further. So the very basics would be, you need a computer system and an application. A computer system good enough to run a video editing application like iMovie, Windows Movie Maker for the simpler work, and FCP Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere Pro would need higher end machines. You need a computer system, you need an editing application. The computer system should have appropriate input-output devices for you to provide input and monitor what's happening, and then you need to import your content into this application, the visual contents and the audio contents. Once it is imported, these softwares offer you a timeline view, or a view where you can assemble these pieces together to establish a flow of the story, the audio visual elements together. And there is a panel that offers you presets for transitions and effects and text. So you put the audio visual elements together, you add transitions and text, and then you export the movie, depending upon the final platform where you have to showcase. Like if you want the high definition output, or if you want to output it for web uploading purposes, then there would be some particular settings. So explore the help files, explore the preferences offered on, for example, in case of web outputs, you could explore the help provided on YouTube and sites like Vimeo. They would suggest you appropriate settings for a web upload of a video. So these were the few basic tips and tricks for simple video editing for amateurs and beginners. In the next part of this video, we're going to illustrate a very simple video editing project using Apple iMovie. And in the third part, we'll be discussing, we'll illustrate another simple project using Windows Movie Maker. And for beginners, then there is another video that we have done that takes care of filmmaking basics and shooting, especially with digicams and mobile phones. So you can have a look at that at our YouTube channel. I hope this helped. Check out the next part of this video that takes care of illustration of project using iMovie.